Glad you made it back, everybody. Dr. Fauci and his cohorts testified before the Senate yesterday. New documents seem to expose the lengths they went to cover up their role in funding gain-of-function research in Wuhan at the Institute of Virology there. Tragic mistake that has cost countless lives, not only in the United States, but around the world. Here with me now is cardiologist and author of What Your Doctor Won't or Can't Tell You, Evan Levine, and board-certified family physician and South Carolina congressional candidate Garrett Barton. Gentlemen, welcome. Dr. Levine, you first. If U.S. health officials had been transparent about the virus and its origins from the very beginning, would we have been in a better position to handle this pandemic now?
Well, clearly, we would have had a head start, and we would have had even a greater warp speed in getting therapeutics and vaccinations. Absolutely. No question about that.
Dr. Barton, hundreds of thousands of American lives have been lost to the China virus, but the Democrat Socialist Party has done nothing to demand accountability from communist China. You know, after Pearl Harbor, I said this in my preamble, nobody sat around their duffs and said, oh man, we shouldn't do anything to hold anybody accountable for this attack. If China gets away with what they've done, what's to stop another backward left-wing regime from doing this to us again?
Yeah, absolutely. And the answer is nothing. When we, as the United States, have a weak leader in power, it just gives communist countries more of a push to follow through with their plans. And China needs to be held accountable. The problem is we're trying to take too much pamper into China, as you can see with Joe Biden and all the ties that they have. And it's absolutely a disgrace, and it's disgusting to see that that's where the leader of the free world is at right now.
No truer words. Dr. Levine, the CDC is considering updating its mask guidance as the Omicron cases just soar through the roof. Biden's lost control, as you know, of the pandemic. They may start recommending medical-grade N95 or KN95 masks instead of those cloth or paper masks we've been seeing everywhere, revealing that the paper masks and the cloth masks, the ones being mandated in left-wing schools and left-wing states, are ineffective at stopping the China virus. Now, if I had cited these medical studies that show the cloth masks were ineffective, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, they would have canceled me already. How concerned are you about medical suppression in the United States by social media giants?
Well, I'm very concerned with that. I'm also concerned about these recommendations. You know, here's a mask. It's in my pocket. Maybe it's in my pocket for a week or two. This is a medical mask. Now we have an N95 mask. Now, these N95 masks, well, they're really supposed to be fitted. So are we going to fit 300 million people with an N95 mask? Are we going to tell them to make sure you change it? Are we going to disinfect them by putting them in a bag for 4 days or heating it to 158 degrees? Maybe it'll go on fire. Ask Ray Bradbury. It's insanity. There's just so many questions out here and just so many changes. It's sort of like, spin the wheel and let's see what the answer will be this week about wearing what type of mask. I agree with you. You can't have an honest opinion here. It's insanity. No one's going to wear an N95 mask in the public correctly. No one's going to be fitted with these.
That's a great observation. It's like the CDC is spinning the wheel. What's our policy this week? Dr. Barton, last thing. According to new reports, the Omicron variant, the Xi variant as we call it, now makes up 98% of the new China virus cases in the United States. Omicron is proving to be milder and less dangerous than the previous variants. Experts have suggested this could be kind of a good thing, kind of a silver lining, if the disease sweeps across the country, killing very few and providing natural immunity. Do you concur?
Yes, I do. That's kind of the natural history of the way viruses work, you know, as they want to stay alive. And so how they stay alive is infecting more people. So they become more effective at that in infecting people. But the virulence level in the, the deadliness, like we saw more maybe with Delta, is significantly reduced. And that's exactly what the studies are showing. You know, I think we need to get to a point now where mandates are not where we need to be. When we're seeing a 50% plus drop in hospitalization since last year, you know, the rate of death is significantly dropped, especially admissions, ICU, all of that. And so if we really want to start locking down people and making mandates, why don't we lock down the southern border? Our number one killer of our 18 to 45-year-olds overdose, pouring through the border. The administration doesn't care. But that's what we need to start mandating. If we're going to start mandating things, stop restricting the American people.
That's right. You see the opioid crisis going through the roof. You see all this poison in the nation's veins. You can thank every socialist Democrat in the Congress and every socialist inside the White House. Doctors Levine and Barton, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Coming up.